Welcome to the Prince on Prince podcast featuring the Doctor. I am Prince,
And I'm the doctor.
and we are two lifelong friends and Prince fans. And we're here to bring you conversations about all things Prince, his music, his films, his inspirations, his impact. You name it, we've got you covered. First, a quick note. Yes, my name really is Prince.
Another quick note, my name is not really the doctor. My name is Terry, but we just thought that the doctor had a better ring to the title. No offense, Terry's.
No offense, Harry's. All right, cool. So today we're going to be joined again by Miss Mariko Sakai, TEDx speaker, relationship coach who specializes in helping women embody their sovereign feminine power and men who want to partner with powerful women. We're exploring Prince's unique approach to sexuality and relationships in his music, particularly how he celebrated feminine power and depicted men in service to women, which was pretty revolutionary for a man back in the 1980s.
I see
So
what you
I
did
am.
there. Revolutionary. I got it.
That's right. That's right. Wait. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not bring your mug today?
No, the mugs are just the mugs. I only am going to bring the mugs when we're together. It's
So
just
I
for
need to.
you.
I need to get there more often. Today, if you all haven't noticed and you've been following the podcast, we are in two different locations today. I am back in the DC area because I have to work, pay the bills,
And
keep all these children happy.
I am in an undisclosed location.
He's in the cave. So, in honor of you, I brought this. Why do you think?
I love New York. I imagine it might be we had the pigeons in an episode, in one of the episodes we recorded. And that was also the New York Pigeons mug, but I'm not sure. Maybe
Yeah, I
it's
didn't know
because
that.
we both love New York.
Well, I love people in New York. I know a really beautiful person, very sweet, very kind. But no, all the critics love you.
Oh my God.
All the critics
That's wow. I feel I caught the revolutionary, but that was man,
love you.
I'm fired.
No, you're good. So on that note, let's bring in Rico and get into it.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Welcome back, everyone. We are so excited to have Miss Mariko with us again today. Those of you who joined our last call, probably, or not our last call, our last podcast with Mariko, probably recall that we talked about some of the sexiest Prince songs. And so we're not going to talk about the sexiest Prince songs today necessarily. Mariko, what would you like us to do for you today?
Yes, well, thank you. I'm so excited. So today, we are going to talk about our selections of Prince songs where Prince is talking about pleasuring women and also respecting and then worshiping women, because, well, this is the type of a woman that I coach, help coach, and then also because that really signify that the kind of a stereotype, well, okay, non-stereotypical woman, the man that, you know, as like despite this the patriarchy that we live in, right, there is this, like, you know, the men are stronger and then, you know, leader, and then, you know, you woman follow me, you know, like you know, it's the opposite, the manifestation of masculine energy, and then so I would like to really talk about that, and I'm super excited about it.
Oh, so are we. So the sexy songs was really fun. And this sounds like this is also going to be really fun. So let's get into it. Doctor, let's start with you.
Mm. All right. So when I got this assignment, I was thinking back to our last conversation, and I was thinking back to this moment where we talked about how Prince approaches sexuality not just as an act, right? But as something that's transcendent. And so when you think about something, transcendent, something that transports you, this journey, I kind of went with that theme. And so I didn't rank these songs necessarily, but they are in order. And I'll tell you why and the order that they're in here in a second. So the first song that I came up with is from 1998's Crystal Ball album, and it's the live version of The Ride. So in this song, Prince starts out, first words he says is, "Stay here, brothers, stay here, brothers." And now I don't think he's talking about like this in this song, but for my purposes, he's like, "Stay here, brothers. I got something to teach you, right? Got something to say to you." It's a blues. It's a blues song. So, it's kind of got that repetitive verse and chorus, almost that call and response feel to it. And the lyrics are pretty simple. If you've got the time, I've got the ride. If you've got the time, I've got the ride. And at the beginning or the end of the intro, he says, "Where I want to go, keep you satisfied." And the rest of the song is talking about, what the listener, what the woman he's singing to wants. He says, like, "So if you like it real slow, I got days. If you like to be alone, I like to watch. If you got the time, I got the ride." So I kind of think about this song and position the song, no pun intended, but position the song as kind of the seduction, right? Blues has that seduction, but that seduction is all about, what you want, I want to provide. What you want, I can't provide. And so he has that kind of seduction, and they figure out that she does in fact have the time, right? She does in fact have the time. So now they're gonna have the discussion. And so the discussion for me, the next song from the same album, same year, it's Prince and Carmen Electra, "Tell Me How You Want to Be Done." So the chorus of this song, right, is, "Tell me how you want to be done. Just say the word. We can go from number one. Talk to me, baby. Tell me how you want to be done." Right. And so that's the chorus that repeats. Prince says, "You tell me, you're the ruler in this telephone game. I could be a slave when it comes down to you. I'll do anything and everything that you want me to. You know why? Because I want you to have fun." So in that first part of the song, right, after we've established, yeah, she's got the time, now he's asking, right? He's asking, where do you want to go? How do you want to get there? And what I like so much about this song is that the bulk of this song is really Carmen Electra, right? So he's asking, and then Carmen Electra is answering. And when she's answering, he's listening. And I imagine he's taking some notes as well, right? She says, "I want you to imagine you're making angels in the snow, kiss 100 revolutions, nice and slow." So, and then it ends with him again, right? Kind of bookending that, how you want to be done, you tell me, and we'll go from there. So, I think just on the face of it, right? That song is "Tell Me How You Want to Be Done," is the asking and the listening. And, it's not just an assumption, right? But it's, you're the ruler in this telephone game. So you've got the seduction, right, with the ride. You've got the conversation, both from the same album. And then to me, you've got the time, you had the discussion, the destination, the route you're going to take to get there. Well, the only thing that's left from 1982's 1999 is to get on the plane with International Lover, right? So International Lover is like this really over the top, right? Over the top fantasy, this kind of almost cheesy. I mean, let's be honest, right? It's almost cheesy when he's talking about like, this is your Captain Prince speak, right? But there's an element of fantasy there that is, I think, kind of dovetails. See what I did there? Dovetails nicely with the first two songs, right? Where you have the, there's the approach, there's the conversation, and we've talked about this. We know what where we're going to go and how we're going to get there. He says, "I want to take you around the world. I know it's been a long time since you've been satisfied." He says, "I won't fly too fast." But he assures her, this plane's fully equipped with anything your body desires. And we know we know the end of it as well, right? We're now approaching satisfaction, he says. So to me, when I got this assignment, I'll be honest, when I first got this assignment, that I had three completely different songs. Three completely different songs. And this is something that Prince and I were talking about, like a lot of the conversations that we've had and that we plan on having could differ day to day. I mean, it's such a wide catalog. Right. Our favorite song could differ depending on if you ask me tonight versus you ask me tomorrow. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought about how, again, how he approaches this as something that's transcendent, something that's transportative. And I said, well, let's just go with that theme. And so there we go. Those are my three.
Great.
I like it.
Yeah,
I'm already curious about your feedback, but I'll go and then we'll come back to you, Mariko.
Okay.
But I do have a quick note. You know that International Lover was written for someone else initially.
I didn't know that. Who was it written for?
It was written for Morris Day and the Time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see it, right? I can see Morris Day singing that because it's so over the top, right?
It's so over the top.
It's so over the top. Like, Jungle Love, all that is so over the top. I got a bearskin rug on my plane.
Jacuzzi, whatever you need.
Yeah.
But I really like what you did there with the whole trajectory. Mine was just raw, basically. It's just like, it's not. It is about pleasuring women and helping her feel seen and respected and animalistic. So I don't have a theme necessarily, but my three.
Wait. I wanted to give my reaction.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I really, really liked your choices, and also like that the words that you chose was first thing that the word that you said was a transcendent. I mean, that's who he is. I mean, he transcended. I mean, I would call him a transgender. I mean, like he really transcended any sexual identity, right? So that's really who he is. So I really love that you use that word. That is so appropriate. I actually, as I was listening, honestly, like those songs sounds familiar, but it's not one of those songs that I always listen to. But I actually wasn't paying attention to those, the details that he even mentioned, that the word slave. I wasn't aware of that. So I loved it. I love that, it really highlights the fact that he really was a free person sexually. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Excuse me?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you could be forgiven if you didn't catch those songs because they were on like the Crystal Ball compilation. There was so much music. And a lot of it was really, really good. But it's easy to have missed some of them. And so I liked that you did not just pick slow jams, which is what I picked. I picked three slow jams because time time to get the getting on. I started with Adore because I think it's hard for a woman to resist that. And everything about that song is just, I mean, he didn't say, I love you, I adore you. You know, he just took that to a different level. And so I really appreciated that. And that's another over the top song, right? I mean, all of the harmonies he's doing, all the things going on at the same time, and it works. The falsetto, when he goes low, is there saxophone in that song? I can't even remember right now. It feels like there might be.
Yeah, I think there is. I think there is towards the end. Yeah.
Like
I think Eric Leeds is on that.
Yeah. So everything is in that song and it works. And I feel like it's hard for a woman to not feel special if you are trying to sing that song to her. Like if one of us were trying to sing that. But with him singing it, I think that it's a showstopper.
Yeah.
So
and sorry, not to interrupt, but yes,
No.
Atlanta Bliss and Eric Leeds were both on Adore.
Oh wow. See,
Eric Leeds on sax, yeah.
Gotta have Adore on that list for me. And the part you made love to me like you were afraid. Were you afraid of me? Was I your first? No, was I your everything? That is like a perfect love song. If ever there was one, that's like a perfect love song to me. And that's my number 3 for this list, which isn't a list. My number 2 would be Insatiable off of Diamonds and Pearls, because I think we were talking on the last episode about some women having some insecurities about certain things, like guys, drinking every drop or whatever. But his lyrics kind of assuage that, right? It was basically like, no, even if I wasn't thirsty, what just crossed my mind right now was Joni Mitchell, A Case of You. She said, I could drink a case of you and still be on my feet. And he basically was saying, even if I wasn't thirsty, I would drink every drop. I love you so much, or I'm into you so much that I can't get enough. And so as a woman receiving that kind of energy, I think that would also be pretty irresistible. And my number 1 is a song that I feel like it was on a B-side, but it was definitely on the Black Album. And so I think after the Black Album, he put it on a couple of different B-sides. And that's When Two Are in Love. The flow of it, for me, it was sort of futuristic, but it was very Prince. And he had that lyric, the thought, when two are in love, how can you not feel the romance and the passion with that? But he had the lyric that said, when two are in love, the thought of his tongue in the V of her love. In his mind, this thought, it leads to Pat. I mean, he was pretty blatant about what was on his mind. But for me, if I put those songs on a CD and handed it to a lady, and she said, I'll see you another time, my heart will be broken, because everything is out there with those songs. It's like, I don't know any other languages. This is the best way I can let you know what I'm thinking right now. So those are my 3.
So quick thing, When Two Are in Love, you're right, was initially on the Black Album, made it to the 1-track album, Love Sexy, which was my cheat, if you remember, from the first time that we had Mariko on. And then Insatiable was also on my list there. So good choices. Yeah. Good choices. Great songs. Mariko, I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
From the Black Album, right? I mean, for future iterations. I don't know that.
Yeah, but I think I know what you mean. Like that it was put onto another album, right? And not just bootlegged. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
All 3 of those could be on A Quiet Storm. All 3.
Yeah. 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 Like I would say these are like some of his most romantic, like almost like a syrupy romantic songs, like you're saying, like if someone, like Prince will come at any woman, like it to me, and then like, presented with these songs, yeah, I will melt.
Yeah.
I'll melt like a butter. So
Note to self, where's my
there's no
pen?
question. Huh?
Oh, I said, note to self, where's my pen? You can write some of this down.
Oh,
Mariko will melt like butter.
yes. And also what I wanna mention that I mean a lot of these, I guess I'm curious, like like a songs like "Do Me Baby," right? I mean, of course, we are not going to choose the same song, same songs that we already picked for the other slightly different topic. But like, is there any like a particular part of the songs that strongly highlights this, like worshipful energy?
Well, on a door, it ends for all time. I am with you, and you are with me. And
Mm,
so it, the other two are super sexy for me.
mm,
But Adore is just devotional as
yeah,
much as
yeah,
anything else.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. I love that devotional energy. That's yeah. Well,
What is the
thank
doctor thinking?
I'm muted there. Sorry. Again, I think that when two are in love, that was one of my cheats, right? Or one of the reasons for my cheats. Insatiable is, I mean, come on, right? That was on my list of one of the sexiest songs. And by the way, if you haven't checked that episode out yet, get on it. Spoiler alert, we all had the same number one song. Not going to tell you what it is. You got to check it out. But we all had the same number one
Absolutely.
song. Um, but Adore, yeah, I agree. Adore is a devotional, right?
Mhm.
Adore is, when I think about Adore, I almost think about um, like a hymn, right? So it's almost like there's a religious quality to it,
Mm,
and we kind of talked about that spirituality, but there is a lot of gospel
mm,
influences, in the composition of that song.
mm,
Not just with the harmonies, but with those organs coming in, and it's there's a gospel to it.
mm,
And so yeah, I think devotional is a great word to really encapsulate that song.
mhm, mhm.
Solid. It's a solid list. Um,
Yeah,
but
likewise.
I'm excited to hear Mariko's list because I have a feeling that um, this is going to be something.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you. I'm excited to share. Okay. So my third, yes, the choice is the Dirty Mind,
Mm,
and I just love this song. I think it's really cute. Like if a guy is telling me that every time they think of me, that he gets a dirty mind, I love that. Honestly, I love it. It excites
Note to
me.
self. I'm running out of notes. All right,
hey,
keep going.
sorry. Hey, Prince, we're recording these, right?
And also, I just want to highlight. Okay, so he sings that, "Don't misunderstand me. I never fool around, but honey, you got me on my knees. Won't you please let me lay you down?" So what I really like about this, and I kind of like, pay attention to, is this, "But honey, you got me on my knees." So, this is one of the kind of a signature of submissive, devotional, worshipful energy. And like I put a man on his knees, and then like just become, or choosing to be helpless and vulnerable in front of a woman. This is a really, really hot expression. And I don't know if you have this experience, that I would love to hear. Or if you don't, please don't feel, there's no judgment. But this
No
is one of
judgment.
the, huh? Excuse me?
No judgment.
just wanted to say, this is the kind of thing that I guess that I got to understand and appreciate after I got my training as a dominatrix. And then before that, I really didn't. I mean, I just had a very, I guess, average understanding of sexuality, or, like the male-female dynamics. But after that, like, I can appreciate something like this very much, like, and then like something for me to like, just, I feel like really turned on just reading this. It was like, huh?
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah. So, so this is really fun song to see.
So if I like that song, like, for a long time, does that mean I have a high sexual IQ?
Well, I don't know. Well, I like this song anyway, like I said, just because, if a man, tells me that he has a dirty mind every time he's around me, that's really cute. And then that was enough for me. But now, as I mature as a sexual being, I get to appreciate even more, So this is like a really fun song for me in that respect. And any reaction to that, or I guess maybe I'm gonna put you on the spot, and so about the experience.
No,
have you ever been on your knees in front of a woman?
I think that there is a reason why, when you go through the history of pop music, right, of country music, of rock and roll, and especially when you're talking about the history of rock and roll and pop music and country music and jazz, with men singing and men singing to women specifically, that one of the most common tropes in love songs, right? And I don't want to reduce it to a trope, but I think, one of the most common tropes in a love song is there's a line somewhere in, I'd say 40% of these songs about, you got me on my knees. Mm-hmm, right?
Yeah.
There's a nice rhyme with please, right? Please and these and right, this stuff. And the reason that tropes exist is because tropes, work. I mean, there's something that's it's kind of like this, universal connection to it. I think that what he does, especially like with the rhyming structure in that song, is, much more clever than what's typically done with, like, you got me on my knees, I'm begging please, stuff like that. There's a rhyming structure that kind of just falls off, almost like it's almost like a Dilla beat, that rhyming structure, right? It's it just kind of lags behind. And but yeah, I mean, I think that when I hear that song, it's yeah, that's a great song. That's a great song.
It's a great
That's
song.
a great song and a great album. My God.
It was one of my favorites. It's one of my top 5. Dirty Mind.
Yep.
We knew he was special then. And was weird, not weird, but what's really interesting is the song on Dirty Mind that came after that, if I'm correct. And I think that was When You Were Mine. So he talks about what you're saying, and then right after that, When You Were Mine. And didn't we talk about When You Were Mine on the other episode?
No, we talked about it. Yeah, you and I talked about it actually on the ride home. Yeah, when you came to visit, and on the way back from the airport, we were talking about, the idea of a single, right? And which is an old idea now, right? Because now it's like streams or whatever. And I remember you saying When You Were Mine is just this kind of perfect pop song. Should have been a single. It's got this, kind of joy to it. And also you said it reminds you a lot of Joni Mitchell, which I can see too.
It does. Lyrically, it sounds like it could have been a Joni Mitchell song to me. But it's teed up by Dirty Mind, which sets the tone for everything that followed, really.
Yeah.
That was also when he stopped trying to be that R&B lover boy, and was like, no, I'm completely different, and you have no idea
Yeah.
how different I am. And
Well,
that
and
song,
if you didn't have an idea, I mean, you looked at the cover of the album, he's out there in his vest, his leg warmers, and his bikini briefs, right? I mean,
incredible cover,
incredible cover, right?
incredible
But
cover.
so, yeah. So, hey, I've got a question, Mariko. Um, are these songs, I'm just curious, are they in a rank or you're just, these are three songs that you're choosing here?
No, there isn't really a rank. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I in the beginning, I know I kind of sounded like it was, but no, actually, there isn't. And so yeah, I chose it to highlight the, his versatility. And then so when I was going with that, because like I guess it has to do with that transcendent nature and then his versatility, meaning that he is completely free, right? So he could be like this kind of a strong, the typical like a strong masculine, like energy top, service top or whatever. I wouldn't say he is dominant, but he sure sounds very submissive, or just he is very surrendered. Like he really understood this, this incredible, irresistible energy of woman. So in front of those very attractive magnetic women, I can see he just, you know, yeah, just he it was just free person to be whomever it is that felt good in that moment in front of that person. So yeah. So for this reason, I just couldn't create a ranking, but I wanted to kind of highlight songs that demonstrate his versatility. So
Now I'm curious. What's your next song?
yeah, so the next song is Delirious.
That makes sense.
I mean, every song is really, but yeah, I just again, it's just cute that I get delirious whenever you're near, lose all self-control, baby, just can't steer. Just
Mm.
too cute. I mean, just for me to think that, like the guys experiencing this, like, he just kind of lose all control, just cannot function. I love this idea.
You know who that song reminds? If it feels like he wrote that song for Elvis to me. I
Really?
could hear Elvis singing that song.
Hmm.
Oh,
Maybe I'm the only one. I could hear Elvis singing that song. And now we know, I didn't know this back then, but now we know Prince was a huge Elvis fan.
Oh
That
yeah, yeah. I did
the
hear.
lyrics, the music, everything about that sounds like, hey Elvis, let me bring you into the 80s, into my 80s. Here you go. So might just be me, but yeah, it sounded like Elvis.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it could be. I was just
You
kind
don't
of
have to save me.
thinking about in my head.
You don't have to save me. I could be on this island all by myself. But I do appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. And then and then later on, he says, "I get delirious when you hold my hand. Body gets so weak, I can hardly stand." Here is another kind of a signature, kind of a expression of being submissive. And actually, this is like unmistakably a state called subspace. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Um, yeah, so this is like when a submissive person is in this state where like all of these hormones are going, right? Like the oxytocin, the adrenaline, and endorphins, everything is going all over his body that he really cannot stand. Like his knees buckling.
hmm
He cannot keep standing in front of a woman. So I love seeing this.
You love saying it.
You know what that line always reminded me of? That line reminds me of like, the swooning, right? The swooning that
Mm.
was the kind of the very melodramatic,
Oh,
where, you would, yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that both of these songs are really about, kind of this intoxication, right? That there's something that takes over, right? There's something about this person that takes over. When he says, I lose all self-control, I can hardly steer, right? It's like, so he's kind of careening all over the place. He's not in control of the car anymore, right? And yeah, I love this idea of the intoxication that's present in both of these songs so far. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so this is like, and I'm so happy that now I can really appreciate, like I just did not know, when I was younger, or like I was less knowledgeable about sexuality, that he's really into her, like I didn't really understand any more than that.
Wow.
But yeah, so this is a really, really cool song for me. Okay. And
I'm doing the drum roll for you.
Yeah, okay. So the last one is Kiss. I mean, Kiss is one of his biggest hit, right? And then and I was just kind of really reading his songs, and I really appreciate what he's also singing, not just like, the music, but like what he's singing in here. And like this is so, I guess I love this, like you don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. I mean, this is so like, like I think everyone really loves this, right? I mean, I think every woman will love to hear that, I don't have to be beautiful.
Really? No. Just hearing you say that right there, I'm like, if I was a woman and a man came up to me and said you don't have to be beautiful. No, wouldn't you want to hear that you're beautiful?
Oh yeah. No, I can understand that.
But I turned on even though you only I.
That's a good point. But I feel like this is how do I call this? It's not that he doesn't think you're beautiful. I actually believe that even if he says this, I believe the true intention of this particular part is that he knows she is beautiful, that the beauty does not come from the outside. That's the thing. So he is feeling it's not about the appearance. When you say, when people say, oh, she's beautiful, usually people are talking about the appearance, like, maybe, beautiful skin or big boobs or whatever, but it's not about that. I think that's what he's really trying to say,
I think you're probably more right than I am.
I think the other thing too is that there are things that some princes can say that other princes can't get away with.
True that.
Yeah, but you have a point there. I mean, yes. I mean, I think it is important that women feel that she's beautiful, right? But just because that the prince says that you don't have to be beautiful to turn me on, that doesn't mean that you're not beautiful. Actually, you're beautiful. But what's turning him on is something else. So yeah, and then and then the next part. I mean, of course, I cannot read the whole thing, but so you just leave it all up to me. I'm gonna show you what it's all about. So this is, to me as a woman, this is sexy. Like this is like very typical, very refreshing, like a pure masculine energy for me. Like this man, just for his own joy, he wants to give woman pleasure. That's really what this is about. You leave it all up to me, right?
Yeah. And
the thing is, if you say that you just leave it all up to me, you have to deliver, though. Sometimes men may say that, and then like what he does, it's like you didn't deliver. But when he says this, and then if he actually delivers, oh my God, that's so sexy. This is for me as a woman. man who will say and then actually walk the talk, meaning like he actually delivers to what he says, what he promises. Oh my God, that's an irresistible man for me.
Well, you know what he said. He's willing to do the work.
Willing to do the work.
Willing to do the work.
Yeah, I love that.
You know what I like about this list is first of all, it's like 3 absolute bangers. You know what I mean? Like from the heyday, from those early days into the heyday. I mean these are just incredibly great songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think looked at maybe in a different way, especially with Kiss, right? Kiss was the one that surprised me on this list. I'll be honest with you on that. Because I mean, there's so many that you can choose, right? There's so many that you can choose, like Dirty Mind, Delirious. I was like, yes, I see. Kiss took me by surprise. So I like the approach that you took to that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So I'm not finished.
You don't have a 4th song, do you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I still want to highlight a little bit more about Kiss.
Oh, and then, good. Yes, please do.
I'm glad that I surprised with this choice.
Me too.
I'm happy. So thank you. And then so see, he repeat this part, right? You just leave it up to me. But another part that I really like, which is the part of the part that Terry highlighted earlier, is that, he says, you don't have to be cool to rule my world, right? And so this again says the everything about what this is about. It's meaning that yes, that the women are ruling the world. And then later on, he even says, because so he says, right, so you don't have to be rich to be my girl. So he's calling woman a girl. But then later on, he says, woman, not girls, rule my world. I said they rule my world, right? Later in the song. So this to me, he is definitely talking about this goddess queen energy of a woman. He is specifically saying this is, even though he's saying it's a girl, right? It's not about the girl. It's about the queen, even though he doesn't say queen, right?
Yeah.
That's what this really means, because queen rule the world for him, So this is, I would say the perfect song that really encapsulate how he sees a woman. He is definitely seeing a goddess or the queen energy, that he is worshiping this woman, and then he is really devoting himself, and he cannot get enough pleasure himself to pleasuring a woman, creating this amazing experience for a woman, because he's doing it because it gives him so much joy. So that's
wonderful.
What a great list. And a great reason for that list, right? It's like, you're a queen, I'm just a prince. That's pretty slick. I like that. I like that.
I never really thought of that.
Yeah.
So,
Prince, go ahead.
No, please.
Well, I was just going to ask Mariko.
Yes.
Is there somewhere where if people wanted to know more about your work and more about the work that you do, is there a website to your practice that we can put in the link in the description below for them?
Yes, I would love to. Yes, I have a website, and it's called the mistressmariko.com. And I actually love people just emailing me at my email address, mariko@mistressmariko.com. And please, I'm going to share, like in like a written, like a note or something like that. And I would love to connect with people if any of this conversation, inspired or, piqued their interest. Thank you. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah, of course. And we'll put that website down in the description below as well.
Thank you. That'll be awesome.
All right. I think we just had another great episode. So I have no notes. I mean, I took some notes. I took some notes, but I have no notes.
Yeah. Well, listen, thanks again for joining us. This was wonderful. Our first repeat guest, right? Maybe our only repeat guest. We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, so we appreciate you very much, and we appreciate you checking out this podcast and supporting this podcast. So yeah, that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for having me.